Okay, so a couple of housekeeping items before I start this recording. We're going to be live on YouTube. So, if you mind, you can ask whatever questions you want, but it will be broadcasted out. I want to let you know that. And, all right, let's get rock and rolling. All right, welcome everybody to this webinar conference, if you will. And my name is John Pyron, and I'm your host. They also call me the business doctor, and I got my co-host here, Aryan Cope. Aryan, please introduce yourself. You'll need to unmute yourself.
Hey guys, my name is Aryan Cope, and I am one of John's clients, but also a great friend of John. And I'm here today with John to kind of introduce our new mentorship program to you guys. So,
wow, we're great friends. I like that, man. I'm just kidding. That's awesome. All right, so hey, so today I titled this, The Kids Are Back in School, Now It's Time to Finish the Year Strong. So I kept the title of this talk because every single year for the last, 8 years, I've been delivering this talk and at the end of August, early September, to business owners all around the world. But it's perfect timing for this because in order for you to be involved in the program we're going to talk about today, you need to be 13, between the ages of 13 and 19. Okay, you have to be a teenager. And the reason this is going to be so powerful is Aryan Cope is the co-host. He and I met when he was 17, about a year and a half ago, and together I've been able to mentor him into building two separate businesses simultaneously. One of them we had to wait till he turned 18 just because of the timing of it all. He had to turn 18 in order to get the proper licensing, the proper transportation permits, etc. But we prepped for that launch, and on the day it launched, he did business the very first day. Now, here's the other thing I want to share is he's from Bosnia, war-torn Bosnia, and came over here. And he's going to tell a story here in just a second. But he managed to build these two businesses while having a lifeguard job, while having a girlfriend, while playing soccer, while maintaining straight A's in school. So we decided, many people have approached him over and over again. It's like, hey, can you mentor me? And I said, hey, why don't we just do this? Why don't we start a mastermind group specifically for teens, and you and I will co-host it together. I will donate my time versus charging the fees that I normally charge. And I'm going to pour all the information into these kids. In my case, I'm 52 years old, so kids, but into these teenagers and help them build their business. Realistically, I know kids that are 12, 13 years old that have built $85,000 a year businesses because they went to work and they had the right mentors. When I was 17, I met my very first mentor when I was 12 years old. I lived in East Oakland, California, and this guy came. I was poor, man. I mean, we used to have to dig through the couch looking for coins to put gas in the car to get to the store. And so I know what it means to come from struggle. I know what it means to build a business and be a CEO of a multi-million-dollar company that I personally built. And I'm going to share with you guys some information that you can take action on today to have success. But before I get into it, let me tell you a quick story. So there is a guy named Bill, and he's sitting in the restaurant with his wife, and he has to go to the restroom, gets up, goes to the restroom. He walks in, he sees this guy, Fred, standing in front of this urinal, and he appears to be frustrated. And so he looks back at Bill and sees that Bill's seeing him, and he says, he looks down, and he's managed to drop a $5 bill in the urinal, right? So he sees Bill's looking at him, and so without hesitation, he reaches into his pocket, he pulls out a $50 bill, and he tosses it inside the urinal. And Bill looks at the guy and goes, "What are you doing, dude? That's a $50 bill, man." And he goes, "Well, you don't think I'm going to reach my hand in there for $5, do you?" Now, it's kind of a corny story, but it kind of lays the groundwork with what we're going to talk about today. When the purpose, the reason for you to do the things that you need to do to build a business There's got to be a reason that's important enough for you to actually take action. And so the goals for today are, we're going to talk about 3 ways to increase your results. Now, whether you decide to build a business, whether you're in school, high school or junior high, your health, your relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, you're going to be able to take these 3 principles and apply it to any area of your life for the rest of your life and be able to see an increase in those results regardless of what you do off of this webinar. Number 2 is we're going to open it up for Q&A for your goals. We're going to teach on some stuff, and I'm going to open it up for you to ask questions to myself and Ariane and get help right now on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So if you have a business idea, if you already have a business going, like when I first met you, Ariane, you already had a business going. And you were like, hey, I already have this Shopify site, and my dad got me into it, and I want to grow that, right? And so we used that as a platform to teach you the principles that you needed to learn to be a business owner. So we're going to talk about that. The other thing we're going to talk about is how to finish this year strong, how to literally take the information we're going to talk about today and finish this year strong, because realistic, what did it take you less than 6 months to get that Shopify site to a point where you can quit your job, right? You were able to quit your lifeguard job and be able to do this full time. Again, while maintaining straight A's, while having a girlfriend, while doing all this stuff, okay? And so we're going to talk about that today. Now, there's usually 3 questions that people ask whenever I speak from the front of the room, and I've spoken in front of thousands of people, and it's always the same 3 questions. Who is this dude? Number 1. Number 2, what's in it for me? And why should I listen to him? Fair questions, right? So let me see if I can answer that by sharing with you a story. Like I mentioned earlier, I met this guy named Gary Ballard when I was 12 years old. East Oakland, California, 38th Avenue and East 14th Street. He owned a company called Dixon Auto Supply. It's no longer there. He since has died, sold it to his son. His son, didn't do anything with it, other than, take it into bankruptcy. But this guy, my dad was a tow truck driver, and he said, hey, you know what, can you put my son to work? I don't want him wandering the streets of East Oakland. And Gary said, yeah. And so I was sweeping the parking lots. I was dusting the shelves. I was doing whatever this guy told me to do. And my attitude, and here's my first lesson for you. Okay, if this sounds like you, what I was taught, what my attitude when I was 12 is if I'm going to do this job, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm not going to waste my time here. I'm going to not only do the job, and I'm going to do it good, but I'm going to find out ways that I can do it quicker, faster, easier, so I can get paid the same amount, but with less work, right? So it's kind of one of the principles, one of the skill sets, the internal fortitude that you really need to have if you want to succeed in business. It's you're going to work your butt off. I'll just be honest with you. You're going to work your butt off to build a business, but the results are amazing. Now, fast forward, because I was running the streets of East Oakland, I started falling in love with that money. Yeah, that money started coming. School became very, very difficult for me. Okay, Ariane graduated with straight A's. Me, I was a DNF student. if I was to get my report card, man, it's like I hated school. Right. Once I found out I knew how to make money, and he was showing me that I could be a business owner, that I didn't have to be a tow truck driver, I didn't have to struggle, that ultimately I can own my own business, man, I worked for him, I had a gas station job, and then I got involved in drugs, which I don't recommend anybody does. But I ended up dropping out of high school when I was 17. Literally, I lived in a trailer behind this house on 40th Avenue and East 14th Street, basically homeless, okay? And July 21st, 1987, I was 17 and a half, and Gary came to me and he said, hey, do you want some help? My parents had bailed, okay? I pretty much was on the streets on my own, and said, hey, do you want help? And I said, yes. And so I went to a treatment facility, got out 45 days later. I said, how could I ever repay you? And he said, you know what? Keep your nose clean, literally, and make something of yourself. And when you're in a position to help others, I want you to do just that. So fast forward, I met this guy in 1991, multimillionaire at the time, and he took me under his wing and started mentoring me. Same thing I did for Ariane. He just started pouring into me success principles, how to do work. He taught me the number one thing I've ever learned in my life, and he says, John, 5 years from now will be determined by a couple of things. Number one, the books you read. In my case now, the books I listen to, the audios you listen to, the videos you watch, and more importantly, the people that you associate with. So if you want to be a business owner, if you want to succeed in business, if you want to be a great salesperson, if you want to be a great marketing person, if you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, or whatever, start hanging out with those people that are where you want to be. Association is going to be critical, okay? Doesn't matter where you come from. It only matters where you're going. The other thing he taught me is if you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. So stop making excuses and take 100% ownership of your life, and therefore you could be 100% responsible for the solution. So I did exactly what this guy said. And I built one company from 500,000 to 8.5 million in 5 years. 6.5 million. I did another company from 1.2 million to 8.5 million in 2 years. And then I started this company right here. I borrowed 10 grand from my mother-in-law, put a 25K second home equity line of credit on my home, 2 cars that were already paid for, refinance. I had to come up with $50,000 cash because I was not an engineer, and I built an IT company from zero to $1 million in 3 years while the economy was collapsing. And so from 2007 to 2009, I grew at 63.9% with 6 employees, and I ended up in the center page of the Sacramento Business Journal because they were like, dude, nobody's growing like this. What are you doing? And how did you get here? How did you do? I mean, you were homeless, dude. How did you get here? And my answer was simply this: I had mentors in my life. Okay, that's it. I couldn't have done any of that. It was Gary Ballard. It was, Dave Vanny. It was Jay Cucci. It was Mike Sastry. Those were the 4 mentors I had at the time. I just did what they told me to do, and the rest is history. So when I met Ariane, I don't know if this was your very first car, right?
That's actually my second car. Yeah.
Oh, that's your second car. Okay, so I got the photos backwards. Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
So this is your first car, right? And so take over from here. Tell us the story of where you came from and what a mentor has meant in your life.
Yeah. So basically, I came from war-torn Bosnia in 2019 of December. I started high school in Arizona. And basically, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I wanted to be my own boss. It's just I didn't know how I was going to get there. So the first thing I did was one thing that my dad found online and found something that was growing fast was an online Shopify store. So I decided to take the risk with some of the money that I had after achieving it. And I started my own Shopify store and was kind of getting in some money. But I was at a soccer tournament and I met John at a soccer tournament up in Phoenix at a hotel. And one thing I always mention is I probably wouldn't be where I am at today if I didn't meet John. And the reason why is because me going into a business that I had no idea what license I need, how to run a successful business, how to find the proper funding, how to manage funds, how to deal with success, and how to maintain a successful lifestyle without putting myself in a position where I'm overspending and I'm not doing the proper things and healthy stuff that I need to do to be where I'm at today. So with John, I've been able to achieve great success with both my businesses, especially my Articus Lifestyles. I've been able to expand it from Arizona in less than a year and open up in Miami, Florida now, and it's been just all around great, especially in Florida. So meeting a mentor definitely helped a lot. Having someone that, you can talk to and always come to questions when you don't have any clue, but someone that can better you and make you reach your goals and push you towards your goals and also show you the proper way to get to the point where you need to be is the best thing I could have gotten for. And it's honestly one of the things that I like to say, that like God kind of put us both in that situation, because I was going to go into business myself. Probably where I'm at today, I probably wouldn't be there. I'd probably still be working as a lifeguard, like in that picture right there. Um, but I was able to quit that job, and I am where I am today. So
You had this car, you still have this car, and then you ended up getting a second Mercedes, and now you're
yeah,
looking at a limo, okay?
yeah,
Because the demand in Miami is a limo. And just so you guys are aware, we're not shooting smoke here. Here's the report card. Yeah. Straight A's, man. Good job, buddy. Graduated this last year, and that's awesome. And so, great for me, great for you, right? We had great success. We had great mentors. Okay, what does this have to do with you guys? Okay, what it has to do with you guys is we're gonna talk about a mentoring program. And before we get into that, I'm going to share with you some stuff that you can actually execute on, whether you decide to join this mentoring program or not. I want you to be able to walk away from our time today with something that you could actually go do tomorrow. Because in order, and I'll just land the plane, and I'm going to come back and get there. I'm going to kind of give you the end of the story, and then I'm going to come back and reverse engineer to that point. Okay. In order to join this mentoring program that we're going to be talking about, okay, we're going to give you a challenge at the end of our time today. Okay. And you're going to have, what was the first assignment I gave you, dude?
go make $100 in 24 hours.
What were the qualifications?
It couldn't be me going to ask for
what were the rules?
Yeah,
so
I couldn't go ask my parents for $100. I couldn't go and take $100 out of my paycheck or my savings. I couldn't just go and find $100 on the road. I had to go and earn that $100. So
to go figure out who's got the number one principle here. Okay. Now, if I would have been taught this at 13, 14, 15, 17, 19, man, I didn't learn this until I met Grant Cardone in 2013. Let's see, I'm 52, so 41 years old, right? Had I learned this lesson back when I was you guys' age, oh my gosh. And that is, who's got my money? Okay. So I want you to write that down. Who's got my money? So when you want something, okay, first thing you got to do is you got to decide, okay, I want this. Maybe it's a car. Maybe it's a video game. Maybe it's, a new computer. It's got to motivate you, number one. Okay. It doesn't matter if it motivates your siblings, your mom, your dad, a relative, impresses a girlfriend, a boyfriend. Doesn't matter who it impresses. If it doesn't motivate you, it ain't going to work. Okay. So number one, got to find something that motivates you. Usually it's going to cost money. Okay. Number two, who's got my money? Okay. Number three, I'm going to show you exactly how to go out and get that today. Okay. So the assignment we're going to give you in order to even qualify to be a part of this program is you're going to have, I gave him 24 hours. Okay. Now he already had a business going. Okay. And he could not didn't sell anything on the Shopify site. Couldn't go to daddy and ask for it. Okay. Couldn't pull it out of savings. You could have gotten it from the streets, dude. I don't know if I remember. You could have went out there and held a sign.
Well, I mean, I could have, but when I say like get out the streets, I wasn't thinking of like picking it up from the floor.
Give me $100, please. You could have done that, right? But what we did is we sat down, we brainstormed, kind of like what we're going to do today. Okay, brainstormed on your skill set. Okay, what can you do? Right? I gave you 24 hours to go get the $100, and you did. Now, what that did for you is what? What did you learn from that exercise? What did it do for you personally?
Well, it definitely taught me like one big thing was like, how to actually like motivate myself to actually go get that $100 because I had 24 hours. So I was on a time constraint. So I had to think of solutions on how to make that $100 and how to do it, within that time frame, but also how to motivate myself to go and get that $100. I could have just been like, shit, I couldn't do it. I just didn't want to get up. But the real thing for me was like I had the motivation and drive to go get it out. Now my process after you told me that was like, okay, how do I go and do this? Who's got my money type thing? Like, someone's got my money. Now there's something that someone wants, supply and demand kind of thing. If I can go and get something, hold out a sign and be like, hey, look, I'm selling tissues for like 20 bucks, and people buy damn tissues, and there you go, I've made $100 after that, I'm selling a few tissues. So I could have done something like that, but it just taught me on how to go out and make $100, motivate myself to go make $100, and how to think of ideas on how to make fast money in a sense, because I had 24 hours.
How to think, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So how to think, how to go out and hustle. Okay. And because the fee to join this program, okay, is $100. Actually, it's $99. We're gonna call it 99. We could be charging $999. Okay, but we want to reach as many teenagers as possible. Okay, make it super affordable. Okay, and I mean, you came to me and I said, hey, I gave you a strategy session for free, kind of what I'm doing with all you guys today, and you want to work together? Yeah. I said, okay. Well, normally, and at the time, I was charging $3,000 a month. I said, there's no way you can afford that. I said, so this is a Friday, okay? You think about it, and we'll talk on Monday. You came back to me, and I go, how much can you pay? You go, 100 to 120 bucks. How much did I charge you? 120 bucks, right? Yeah. And guess what? I'm still charging you. What? 120 bucks, right? Well, everybody else is paying $4,000 a month now, okay? You're still paying 120 bucks. Why everybody else is paying me $4,000. You guys in this program get that for $100. Because I got a heart for, I wish somebody would have poured this information into me when I was 17, 13, 14, man. I mean, my entire life would have changed. Okay. I definitely would have been better in school, because that's going to be the other requirement here. You're going to have to finish high school. Okay. You're going to have to get good grades to stay in this program. Not straight A's. I'm not talking straight A's here. Okay. Not everybody can be Michael Jordan. Okay. I'm satisfied with my 15-year-old Preston if he can get B's and A's and maybe a couple C's. Okay. But you got to pass. You got to make an effort. Okay. And so, and you're going to have Ariane as your personal mentor. So you're going to be able to connect with him. Hey, we're not going to just wait. We're going to do a weekly live call. Okay. Where everybody can show up. I'm going to have very specific assignments for you to do every single week to build your business and move it forward. You're going to be able to, we have a live, I guess the only place we can really do it, let's do a live, a private Facebook group. Okay. Not everybody's on Facebook, but even if you're not, get on there and friend me or friend Ariane, then you don't have to be on there anymore. But we're going to do a private Facebook group where we can share ideas, share all this stuff, and we're going to help you build your business. Okay. But one of the exercises I gave you is I said, hey, you can wash cars, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's create a flyer. Okay. And then we role played the pitch. We're going to go knock on doors. Okay. And we're going to find somebody that will let you wash their car. And I don't care if they pay you $10, $15, $20, whatever. Okay. Here's what you say, and here's how you're going to negotiate it. So you can get $100 in 24 hours. And you did exactly that. Okay. Yep. And so we're going to give you guys the same opportunity, except today is Wednesday. And if you're watching the recording, okay, we're going to go on the honor system here. You're going to have 48 hours, okay, 2 days. We're going to give you 2 days, okay, to go out and earn $100. Okay. If you don't earn $100, you don't get to be in the program. Okay. You're going to take that $100. You're going to give it to Ariane. Okay. He's the only person who's going to make money off this deal. Okay. I'm not going to make a dime. Okay. I want to just pour my energy and all the stuff I've learned with all the companies I've built, now well over 200 or 300 companies. Okay. And I'm going to mentor you guys on how to do that. Okay. You guys need somebody your age to communicate with. And that's going to be Ariane. Okay. You're going to get a cell phone number. You're going to be able to call him every day. The same program, Ariane, that I gave you, we're going to give to these people. Okay. Yep. So we're going to limit this group to no more than 12. Okay. And if we have to start a second group, we will. But this is going to be a very tight-knit group where you guys are going to get to know one another and really be able to bounce ideas off of one another and help each other build their businesses. Okay. It's going to be very, very valuable. I'm going to teach you success principles, goal setting, all the stuff that you're not going to get taught in school. Okay. And I know because your high school business teacher came to you for mentoring.
Yeah, and I even hired him. So.
And then you even hired him. He quit his job and came to work for you. Okay,
Yeah.
so they're not learning this stuff in school. Okay, this is real world stuff. Okay, so let's talk about 3 ways to increase your results. Number 1, it always starts with the inner game. Okay, it's mindset. You can get this right, you can succeed in any business that you want. In fact, the more I look back on the way I grew up as a child, I think we moved like 14 times in the first 12 years of my life. You know, 0 stability. You know, I think that has become a big strength for me to have resiliency to do that, but getting my mindset right is very important. So we're going to definitely work on that. Number 2 is the outer game, the processes, the systems. You know, how do you talk to people? What do you say to them? As a business owner, you're going to have to master the art of sales. And in sales, I'm not talking sleazy, fast talking, slick, liar, all these misnomers that people apply to salespeople. And there are those people out there. I'm talking about selling in the, being a professional salesperson. So my definition would be selling equals service, sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling's about leading. Selling's about moving people to action. That's really what sales is. So you're going to get definitely professionally trained in that. You'll have that skill set for the rest of your life. You'll be able to build whatever business you want from scratch for the rest of your life. Okay. Number 2, you're going to learn and master marketing. Okay. And there's systems that I'm going to give you on how to market your business properly. All of you are going to get access to all the resources. Okay. All the pre-done marketing programs and training and templates and every single thing. Okay. You're going to be able to become a master at marketing. If I had to go back and look, sales or marketing, I would have mastered marketing first versus sales. Okay. Now, what I did with you, Arian, is I helped you master marketing first and sales. And that's why you have had such fast success and long-term sustainable success. And you keep going down the track. I mean, you'll be a multimillionaire by the time you're 25. Yeah. Every single one of you have that same opportunity. Every single one of you have the same opportunity. Okay. I know many, many people that have done it. Okay. And so finally, you can have the best mindset on the planet. You can have the greatest systems in place. You can have all your ducks lined up in a nice 1, 2, 3 order. But if you can't get your butt to take action, none of it matters. So I'm going to show you how to do massive action consistently without burning yourself out. Okay. Without sacrificing your health, your fitness, the relationships you have with your schoolmates, your parents, your relatives, and be able to have those principles for the rest of your life. Okay. So let's talk about the inner game. And when we talk about the inner game, what we're talking about is mindset. And one of the mindsets of a champion is that there's always room to grow. Okay. How many of you put in the chat window and just put in the word there, I agree, if you agree with that statement. Okay. Next, put in there, I agree, if you honestly feel that you have potential inside of you right now to perform at a higher level, a better level than you've been performing at. Put I agree in the chat window. Okay. And so let me tell you about the great Michael Jordan. Now, some of you know who Michael Jordan is. Some of you were most of you were not even alive when this picture was taken. Okay. Let's see, 92, I think I was 30 years old. Okay. And this is the first Olympic dream team. And one of the things about this photo that's significant is Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player in the world at the time. He had a coach. He had a mentor. It's not like the mentor taught him anything. The one thing he got from the mentor is discipline and accountability. And a true story is they are over there, they're dominating every team by 48.6 points on average. I mean, they're kicking everybody's butt. And so the next day they're set to play Portugal. Actually, no, they're set to play Spain the next day. So they're out there, they're practicing as a team, and Magic Johnson there and Larry Bird, the three of them were kind of like the three amigos, and they were going to go hang out in Barcelona that evening and just chill because, they were kicking everybody's tail. And so they all agreed to meet after practice in the lobby of the hotel. So fast forward, they're in the lobby of the hotel, and they can't find Michael. They're like, where the heck's Michael at? They go looking around, they ask a bunch of people, they find Michael in the practice facility by himself, shooting hoops, doing layups, practicing his game. They're like, dude, what are you doing, man? We're supposed to be out partying, man. Yeah, we're kicking everybody's butt. You're the greatest on the planet. Why are you here? And his response is a lesson for all of us. His response to them is like, listen, man, I'm not competing against Spain tomorrow. I'm not competing against you guys back at home. Okay? I'm competing against me. And I have to do this every day in order for me to get a little bit better every day. And so one of the biggest mindset principles for you to learn and walk away with, no matter what you want to accomplish in life, okay, compete against yourself, not against your classmates, not against your neighbors, okay, not against anybody else. Compete. The toughest competition you're ever going to have is you, right here, okay. And if you can get good at not comparing yourself to others, not comparing, because we always compare our weaknesses to somebody else's strengths or our perceived weaknesses, right? So this is one of those success principles, is like compete against yourself every day. Just try to get a little bit better every single day. And in this program, I'm going to give you some daily stuff that you're going to need to do. So, and I gave you this assignment. I told you, what did I tell you? I said, write your goals every morning when you get up, right?
Yep.
Just ask yourself, what do I want? Whatever comes to your mind. This is an assignment I'm going to give you guys right now, too. If you want to start someplace, this is it. Get a journal, right? So go to 10xplanner.com. Yeah, there it is. Here's the QR code. Can we see it? No? I got to take off this thing here. Hold on. There you go. Rid of this virtual background for just a second here. And my buddy Grant, you're going to love this, buddy, because I'm about to sell your stuff or promote you. Go to this QR code right here, okay? 10xplanner.com, okay? I get nothing from this. This is the mentor I've been following since 2013. It's changed my life, okay? But definitely go there and get that. You don't even have to get the planner, okay? Just go there and watch the video. Okay? There's a free video there. And it talks about writing your goals out. So ask yourself in the morning, hey, what do I want? The top 5 things that come to your mind, write them down as if they already happened, okay? Because realistically, every single one of you, depending on the type of business you want to build, can be at a 6-figure income in less than a year, okay? If you don't believe me, go out and get the book, Six Figures in 6 Months by Peter Voogd, V-O-O-G-D. Do exactly what he says in that book. I know the guy personally. Do exactly what he says in that book, and you will accomplish that. That's exactly what you got to do to make that kind of money. And it has nothing to do with age, okay? Nothing to do with age. It has to do with getting this right, okay? Writing out your goals in the morning, right when you get up, and right before you go to bed, okay? Most people, they never write out their goals, or if they do, they write it out once a year. You're going to do it over 700 times. So who's going to win? You, okay? You take that one principle, and you can get off the webinar now if you want, because that one principle will change your life for the rest of your life, okay? That will set you apart from everybody else in your entire inner circle for the rest of your life. Is getting clear on where you personally want to go, because it'll motivate you. Next, we talked about that. Let me tell that real quick. So one other principle I learned by studying Michael Jordan, I was asked to do a keynote for the fastest growing companies. It was the top 50 companies in all of Sacramento. Okay? Combined total, I think there was like $8.5 billion in the room. And I'm supposed to give a 12-minute keynote, and I'm like, what am I going to tell these guys? You know, what am I going to possibly share with these guys that is going to be make a big difference? And so I told them this story, and this is a true story. How did this guy become great? I mean, you have to be great in order to play basketball. Okay, so that's not the issue. But what made him exceptionally great is what he did in his off season. So his off season, he went back and evaluated his entire season of playing, made notes, and he picked one thing to work on. That's it. Okay, one thing. Hired a coach, hired a mentor, worked his butt off during the off season. So 1 year was his left hand. That's all he worked on the entire off season was his left hand. Next year, it was his strength training. Okay. And it was that discipline that made Michael Jordan great. It wasn't, he had not raw natural talent, but what made him separate himself from everybody else is the incredible discipline of focusing on competing against himself and working on him. So the question is what's your one thing, right? So kind of another exercise, identify, okay, all year long, right? Here we are. Most of you are about 2.5 to 3 months into the school year. And let's just take grades, for example, okay? Your grades are what they are, okay? So, maybe you want to increase your grades, okay? What is one thing that you can work on between now and the rest of the year that if you worked on that one thing would make the difference in your performance, okay? And you could pick anything you want. Maybe it's a video game you're playing. Maybe I don't know what the video games are now, and Ariane, I know Preston's into like Fortnite and all this other stuff, right? But I tell him all the time, man, if you're gonna do that, you might as well master it, dude. So pick something. What? Maybe it's how fast you move the thumb. I don't know, dude. Pick one thing that if you can focus on it, dude. It'll make all the difference in the world in your performance. It's got to motivate you, right? And so pick that one thing for yourself. This was a client of mine, Deborah Scarpa, okay? She hated sales, was scared to death of sales. That was her one thing. We worked on it. She did not want to work on it, okay? She wanted to take the escalator, not the stairs. Now, what's the problem with this picture? Okay? In front of a health facility, and instead of taking the stairs where you can get the fitness benefit, they're taking the escalator, right? Because it's easier. We all want to do the easiest, right? But the growth is in doing the hardest thing, okay? And so what she ended up doing is exactly what I told her to do. I just gave her a simple script. I said, selling equals service, sell from honesty, integrity, and compassion. Selling is about leading, selling is about moving people to action. I want you to write that down on the 3x5 card. I want you to post it everywhere, your refrigerator, your purse, your sun visor. Every time you run across that, I want you to read it out loud or to yourself. And you're going to average it about 10 times a day. Can you do that? She said yes. So within about 2 to 3 weeks, her entire mindset shifted about sales. She was no longer scared of sales. She wrote this article for me, or this review, and she said, my revenue grew 4 times while working with John Pyron. Great. I didn't do the work. I just gave her an assignment. But at the end of the day, she did all the work, and that's the only thing I gave her. Was that mindset shift, and she has now the skill set for the rest of her life. All right, so that's the inner game. Talk about the outer game. Okay, first of all, before we move on to the outer game, I'm going to do something I never do when I'm giving this talk. Does anybody have any questions about what I've said so far? Anybody needs any clarification on what I've talked about? Raise your hand. Click on the raise your hand icon or put your video on and raise your hand. Okay, is it Canardo? I'm going to ask you to unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Yes, it's Canardo. You're actually the first person who got it right in your first try. My question is to you. I'm 19. I actually graduated class of 2021. Am I still eligible for this program or not?
You're 19, man. Got to be a teenager.
Oh, but I'm going to be turning 20 like 3 months.
Oh, get in while you can, dude. Because once you're in the program, I don't care if you turn 20 or not.
Say less. Got you.
It's like you got in when you were 19.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what matters.
Right?
Okay.
I was worried about it.
Yeah.
No, don't worry about it. This is one of those programs we designed this for teens, man. Nobody else is out there doing this, so we're gonna do it. So, good question though.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. I clicked the wrong button. You can go ahead and cancel that. All right. Let's talk about the outer game. And this principle right here I learned when I was 22 years old. It is the one principle that has made every difference in my entire life. I've been doing this consistently for 30 years. It's helped me in every single area of my life, specifically business, specifically around the area of money and finance, okay? And it's called baseline strategy. So everybody has a baseline in terms of the results that they're doing. Talking about business here. So let's talk about money. We can also talk about grades. We can talk about whatever you want to measure, whether it's health, relationships, fitness, weight, money. You name the thing that you want to improve. This is the strategy that you want to use to improve it. Okay. And so the first thing you got to determine is, okay, what do I want to improve? Okay, what am I doing right now that I would like to see an improvement? It comes back to that one thing, right? So let's just say Ariane, right? Let's just say, without sharing too much confidential information, let's just say you earned $1,000. Okay, let's just say that's the baseline. Okay, we're going to call that the baseline. The other part of the baseline is every single thing you did to earn the $1,000. Could be $1,000 in a day, could be $1,000 in a week, $1,000 in a month, whatever it is that we're looking to measure. Okay, just say it took a month. Okay, so our baseline is $1,000, and we need to figure out, okay, how many customers did you sell in that month to hit $1,000? How many sales was that? What was the average sale? We're going to get all the parameters of what that baseline actually is. Okay, how many calls did you make? How many appointments did you run? How many new customers? How many trips did you make, et cetera? That's all a part of the baseline. And by the way, for our coaching session that we're doing this Friday, you and I one-on-one, okay, we're going to do this exercise. So I'm going to give you an exercise right now while teaching it, okay?
Okay.
So what I want you to do is I want you to look at from September 1 until last Friday, okay? You don't need to share it here. Don't share it here, actually, because it's on screen. But I want you to come up between the two businesses, all the money that you made, okay? And then what I want you to do is I want you to tell me on Friday how many clients that was. What was the total revenue? Divide that by the clients. You're going to get the average sale, okay? How many appointments did you run? How many trips did you take? How many rides did you give? How many rides did your employee give in Arizona? Where you get everything included in the baseline here. Now, the strategy is this. Okay, now if we were doing weight, let's just say you weighed 185 pounds. Okay, well, I know how I got there. I ate too much. You know, I didn't work out. Right? And so, but I want to, so whatever it is I want to measure, right? The strategy is this. Okay, when we talk on Friday, okay, is we're going to look at, okay, is there anything that we can add? Because the strategy is this: we're going to continue to do what you've been doing because it earns you $1,000. Now, I know for you it made you a whole lot more. Okay, but for the sake of this conversation, okay, we're going to look at, okay, we're going to continue to do all the stuff that you did to earn that $1,000. Okay, then we're going to do three things. One of three things, or all three things. What is one thing? We'll make and I want you to make a laundry list of this, and we'll discuss it on Friday. What is one thing we can add to your baseline that would give you an increase in result? Okay, number one. Number two, we need to look at, okay, here's all the stuff that you were doing. What are the things that are not working? Okay, what are the things that just are a waste of time? Maybe it's this marketing campaign. Maybe it's this Facebook ad, Instagram ad, whatever. Yeah. Right? What is the one thing that's not working? We're going to take that out. We're going to subtract that. Okay. The other thing is we're going to look at the strategies that are working and see if there's anything that we can modify, any of those strategies we can modify or improve that will give us a better result, okay? And then we're going to set a new target because we're evaluating 45 days here, okay? So we're going to add, modify, and or subtract, and we're going to measure it for the next 45 days. And we will not just hit $1,000, we will hit more because of this strategy. So too many people want to add 5 things. Oh man, I talked to my buddy, he said do this. I talked to my girlfriend, she said do that. I talked to my aunt, she said do this. And now all of a sudden you got 25 things you got to implement, and you don't implement any of them, and none of it works, right? Yeah. So we're going to find one thing, okay? We're going to add that. We're going to modify some things, get rid of some things, and we're just going to go to work, okay? Now what's going to happen is you're going to see an increase. Not only will you hit the $1,000, but you should hit 1,500. Okay. So whether you're at 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, you will see an increase. Clark Broom taught me this when I was 22 years old. Every business I've built since then, this formula has worked. I have always had a growth like this. I've never had this stock market result thing. You know, it's always been consistent. And the only way I've been able to be consistent is because I've had a mentor holding my butt. And I don't want to do any of the work, to be quite honest. You know, I just want the money.
Yeah.
I'm just being frank and honest. If I could just go out and print the money, I would do it, right? Without going to jail, right? But I know I got to go do the work, so I need a plan. Okay, and this will be the plan. And so we're going to add something. Okay, so here's my client Denise Ponier. When we started working together, she had already been in business 18 years, and she was already making really good money. And all we did was we added one thing to her baseline. Okay, just one thing. That's all we did. You know, we added a new package to. She did website design. You know, if any of you are computer savvy, okay, any of you like marketing, Arian's got access to some marketing stuff. You can build an entire marketing company from scratch. Okay, but we added some stuff to her deal, and then she wrote this. She's like, you know, it's 2015. God, that's a long time ago. I underlined at the bottom. As a result, at the end of the meeting with this prospective client, signed the biggest contract in our company's history. Okay, and all I did was I added a new package, and I added the fact that she had to role play it with her employee every day, and then go out and do it. Okay, and that's how she did it. And so what she ended up doing is creating a bunch of new money with that strategy, without really modifying much, you know? And so at your stage of the game, Ariane, all we need to do with your business, both your businesses right now, is we don't need to add a bunch of things. We need to tweak one thing, continue to be accountable weekly, and that's what all of you are going to get the benefit of, because we're going to hold your feet to the fire every single week, okay? You're going to learn how to create a business plan from scratch. I'm going to walk you through step by step exactly how to do it, okay? Not this 15, 20-page plan that sits on the shelf that you never look at. It's going to be an actual plan that you can execute on, okay? And so Benjamin Franklin, reason I pointed this, I'm going to show you how to make $100 in the next 48 hours, okay? So with that said, it's really time to take action, okay? And before I share with you some ideas on that, I want to share you a quick story. It's kind of a fun story, but it is a principle of success that had I learned at you guys' age or gals' age, would have changed the rest of my life. Took me years to learn this, but I'd heard a guy named Roy Vaden share this from stage. I stole it, and I share it all the time, and it's a great principle. It's like the difference between a buffalo and a cow. Really that simple. Okay, so in the great state of Colorado, one few areas in the country that have both buffalo and cows. And what's interesting is how these two different animals react to a storm. So normally in Colorado, the storm comes in from the west, comes over the Rocky Mountains, down into the valley, into the Kansas plains. Okay, and when it comes in, you can see it come in because it comes in fast and it comes in regularly. But these two animals react differently to it. Cow looks at the storm and goes, "More, dude, there's a storm coming." He's talking to his other cow buddies, and he's like, "Hey, what do you want to do?" You know, the cow turns around and runs as fast as it can into the opposite direction to try to beat the storm. Okay, and I don't know if you know this or not, but cows can't run very fast. Okay. And so what happens is the storm catches up to them, and it just pummels them, right? Because they're running away from their problems. They're running away from their storms in life. They're running away from, you know, I've got this challenge, I've got that challenge. This is not working, you know. Preston last night, he's 15 and a half. He's at Taekwondo. He's doing a competition this week. He finally got back. He's going to go for his black belt, but got a competition coming up, and so they're practicing for the competition. And she comes up and she says, "Hey, you know," he calls him to attention, and he just like kind of like nonchalantly walks up like this. And I'm like, "Dude, you're gonna get your butt handed to you on Saturday. Okay, I know you don't want to be here. Okay, obviously your behavior, you know." But if you don't face this storm and whatever's going on up in your head here, okay, you're going to get your butt handed to you. Okay. Same principle. We're all going to face storms in life. We're all going to face challenges. I guarantee you, as you build a business, you're going to face challenges. Okay. And you can face it like a cow. You can run in the opposite direction and get pummeled. Now, what's interesting is how the buffalo does it, right? They look at the storm, same storm, coming in. They got their buffalo buddy there, and they're getting fired up. They're getting excited. They're like, there's a storm coming, dude. So they step back, they scratch their legs, and they charge as hard and as fast as they can directly into that storm. Okay? Why? Because if you face your challenges head on and you don't run from them, you get the pain over quicker. You get to the sunny sky on the other side of the storm a whole lot quicker. So one of the biggest keys to taking massive action in business is whatever challenge comes your way, you want to face that challenge. You want to be that buffalo, okay? Because problems that are procrastinated on are only going to be amplified in your life. So whether you join this program or not, you take this one principle and apply it to your life, apply it to school. You know, maybe you're like me. I hated school. Absolutely hated it, okay? Like most people do. I don't know. Some people love it, right? I personally was one of those things that hated it. But had I been taught this principle, I'd have graduated with A's and B's. You know why? Because the person you become by doing the stuff you don't want to do is where the magic is. Okay? It's where the magic is, man. Just being honest with you. Not like, you know, I'm going to graduate with straight A's. It's all the work you had to do, dude. Right, Aryan? All the work you had to do to get those A's, man. The character it built. The tenacity it built. I'm assuming it wasn't handed to you.
No, of course not.
I'm assuming you had to work your tail off. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the problem I have with my kid right now is I've been a business owner his entire life. You know? I have showed him how to build a business. Okay? I have brought $30,000 in cash because I closed the deal and had him count it out on the table and, you know, him and his buddies and put it in a safe and then take it down to the bank. I've had them fill entire safe deposit boxes with cash because I wanted them to understand you're not going to make this kind of money on a job. Okay. You're going to make this building a company and you're going to work your butt off. Okay. But the challenge is he's grown up, you know, in an easier environment. Now he's you know, and he's going to be a part of this program, but I swear, and I'd already told him, I told him in front of you, right? You don't earn $100 in 48 hours, dude. I'm kicking your butt out. Okay. You don't get to stay, you know? And so whatever challenges you're going through, whatever problems you're going through, you're going to have a mentor in this program. And the one thing I will encourage you, if you get stuck, we're going to have a weekly call where you can show up and ask questions and get live coaching. But you're going to run across problems and challenges that you don't know how to handle. You need to pick up the phone. Okay, don't let your ego get in the way. Hey, Aryan, and I'm going to give you guys my cell number as well. Hey, I got a problem, man. Help me with this problem. Okay, face the problem head on, and you will. It's the person you become by facing the challenge. I wouldn't go back and change a single thing that happened in my life. None at all. No way I would have the experience to be where I'm at had I not faced the challenges. And so I'm glad to be able to share this principle with you guys at your age, because this principle right here will set the tone for the rest of your life. Okay. And you will be able to achieve at a higher level. So to play at a higher level, you got to do two things. Number one, you got to expand your comfort zone. Okay. Most people say you got to get outside of your comfort zone. That's a bunch of, I got to keep this under R-rated, right? That's a bunch of garbage. That's what I'll say. Okay, bunch of garbage. Okay. You want to expand your comfort zone. In order to grow in any area of your life, you always need to be outside. You always need to be facing your comfort zone. Okay. You always need to be challenging yourself. It's the person you become by facing that challenge. We grow the most from our mistakes. We grow the most from failure. Okay. A lot better than we do from succeeding. If everything was great and everything was great and everything was great and everything was great and everything was great, it'd be boring. You know? So, expand your comfort zone. Number 2 is take some new actions. Okay. So one of the new actions you guys get to take, okay, is we're going to start this business owners mastermind group. Okay. It is the middle of October right now. Okay. We're going to launch this on the 1st of November. Okay. Those of you that are here right now, you get the opportunity to get a jump start on all those other people that are potentially going to join this. Okay. Because we're only going to give those dudes 24 hours to do it. Okay. You guys get 48. We're going to make it a little bit easier for you guys. Okay. As a reward for showing up here today. Okay. So from the moment this ends, you got 48 hours. Now, could Ariane have lied? Sure. He could have said, hey, yeah, man, I went out and I did this. I washed 20 cars and, here's 10 cars and here's my $100. I would have had no doubt, no reason to doubt that. Okay? But who does he rob? He robs himself. But sooner or later, that's going to catch up. Okay. So I want you're over the next 24 hours, if you get stuck, right? If you're like, man, I tried that, it didn't work. I did this, it didn't work. Reach out. Okay. We're going to make ourselves available. Okay. In this group, we're going to do group consulting. Okay. You're going to be able to show up. We're going to have a group session. I'm going to teach a success principle, give you some homework. You're going to be able to ask some questions. We're going to record it. So we're going to build this library of content that you get to go back and reference, okay, that you get to have access to. We're going to have accountability. Everybody's going to have accountabilities. They're going to have to share with the group, hey, this is what I did this week. Here's what I'm going to do next week. And you're going to be held accountable for that. Okay, that's very important. I'm going to show you how to create a one-page business plan for your unique business. Okay. We're going to create a private Facebook group. This says 2 monthly check-ins. We're going to probably do this weekly. Okay. And we're going to have what's called a quarterly board meeting. Now, this is something unique I've added because normally don't do this, but for this group, I think it's going to be very valuable. We will pick a day once a quarter. We're going to spend either half a day or a full day. Every single one of you are going to get a hot seat, a focused effort, a focused time where we're going to just talk about your business, and you get the mentorship from the whole group around your business. Last time I was involved in something like this, I paid about $60,000 a year to be involved in a mastermind like this. And the qualifications, you had to have $1 million company in order to do it. Okay. But it made all the difference in the world. And I'm going to add that to this as well. The benefits are, 6-month commitment. Okay. You just show up for 6 months. Okay. And you're going to have to qualify for it. Okay. Next, only going to be 12 business owners in this group, max. Okay, 100% guarantee. Okay, it's going to cost you $100. So you're going to have to go out and have somebody. Here's the thing: you want to be a part of this? Have somebody else pay for it. Number one principle: you don't pay for it. I'm going to show you how to go out and get somebody else's money, and they pay for it. And every month, somebody else is going to pay for it. Okay, as long as you're doing the program, it's not going to be a problem. Okay. But if you find after a month of being a part of this and it wasn't worth it for you, here's your $100 back. Okay, it's $100 a month for 6 months. That's it. That's all we're going to charge. Okay. And benefits, business strategy, business planning, bidder execution, accountability, power partners, and referrals. I'll get into that. You're going to develop people that are going to refer you business constantly with the type of business, whatever your business is. You develop lifetime relationships in this group. Okay. Some of you are going to do joint ventures together and build companies together. Okay. Some of you are going to have the opportunity to go in business with one another, build companies and sell them. I mean, had I had this program offered to me when I was 17, I'd have already built 20 companies and sold them. And we would have went out and built multiple companies, And so, voicemail. Boom. Okay. And all right, bonuses for today: personal assessment debrief, 1 hour strategy session one-on-one with us, 2-session 1-page plan for 2022. We give you some sales mastery courses, referral systems, 6-month access to TTI training, which is a platform for you to learn how to communicate with people, how to sell, etc. Okay. That doesn't apply to you. simply text your name and phone number to Arian's phone. Okay. So if this is something you want to do, okay, I want you to text your name, first name and last name, to 786-765-9901. 786-765-9901. Okay. Now let's talk about. I want to remind you, I wouldn't be where I'm at had it not been these mentors in my life. Okay. So, oh no, what we decided was a 72-hour exercise, dude. I thought it was 48. Okay. But we actually agreed to a 72-hour exercise. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Crap, man. I should have changed the slide deck, you know? So anyways, all right. So what is today? Wednesday,
okay.
So Saturday. Okay. So you got the phone number, and what you need to do, some of you guys can go wash cars, okay? Which is the easiest. Some of you are on the East Coast. The weather's changed. Maybe you can shovel snow. Maybe you can rake leaves. Maybe you can pick up leaves. You can wash windows. People need their house washed. Maybe clean gutters. Go out and hold a sign. I mean, there's all kinds of things you can do to earn $100 in the next 3 days. Okay. And if this is something you really want to do, then prove it by going out and doing the work. Okay. If you need help, if you need clarity, okay, I want you to connect with Arian. Okay, Arian. Okay, and he'll be there to bounce ideas off of. Okay, but the clock starts when we finish here in the next 72 hours. Okay, you need to go out. Don't borrow it from anybody you know. Okay, you can't sell it. You can even go as far as Grant Cardone gave me this idea of the $100 thing. Remember, he did the billionaire, right?
Yeah.
Undercover billionaire, right? And so he goes, hey, they gave me $100 and they said I had to build $1 million company in 90 days. And all they gave me was $100 in a truck, and that was it. And he ended up building a $5.8 million business in 90 days. Okay. And so, that's where the $100 thing came from. So if you want to go out and sell something that you have, a possession, okay, not a product or service, that'll be fine too. Okay. That's what Grant told me to do. I sold my barbecue. I could have got it for $1,000, but I said, well, I'm just going to sell this for $100, which I did, which looking back was kind of stupid. I could have got a lot more for that. But anyways, go out and get your $100. Okay. Get a hold of Arian and let's enroll you into the program. Okay. So when is the time to take action on this? It's now. Not next week, not next month, not tomorrow, not someday. It's now. Okay. You need to connect with me for any reason. Okay. There's my direct phone number. Okay. It's my cell number. It's my email address and my website. Okay. You can go up there and get as much information as you want about business, man. And so my thing is, I just want to help you guys grow and build your business and help you guys succeed. Okay. So before we go, do any of you have any questions? Okay. And I'm only gonna take questions if you put yourself on video. Okay. So I want to be able to see you. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Nope. Okay. Aria, you got anything you want to add to any of this?
No, I mean, everything was clearly said. Like I said, like John said, just text me your name and your phone number to that other cell number that I have. Yeah, if you guys don't have my cell number, you can just message me on Instagram or my current phone number that you guys know me on. Just send me there and I'll send you the other phone number. But yeah, if you guys are ready to take action, let's get this on the road.
I'll put it in the chat window real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Perfect.
So
yep. Because I had two people that just messaged me. They were like, yeah, they need the phone number.
765-9901.
Perfect. There you go.
There it is.
So yeah, just text me there.
786-765-9901. Okay.
Yep.
All right, guys. I'm proud of you guys for being here. I know it's late where some of you guys are. You can do this, and looking forward to meeting you guys and ladies as well. And share it with your friends too if they want to be a part of this as well. you can go up to johnpyron.com and click on the YouTube channel. This video will be up there, and you can have them watch it. Okay. All right, guys. Have a great evening.
Take care. Bye.